YouTube, welcome to another edition of the Busted Knuckle. Today we're dealing with a 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's got the ABS traction control lights on. Apparently she's not worried about the airbag light, but I took this thing on a drive. As you can see here on the Virus, it had a code for the left rear, and my maximum I didn't see any movement at all. I thought I saw a spike once when I was backing out, and then I looked again and didn't see anything, but on my test drive I didn't get anything. These other ones were reading. I'm going to show you a good way to check the harness and the cab on one of these by running some wires from one sensor to another. First we're going to do the obvious and give it a basic look over underneath there, make sure nothing's busted off or unhooked or anything like that. Stay tuned. Okay, I've got under here and checked the obvious, and nothing's broken or no obvious wire cuts or anything like that. So I've got this jumper wire here hooked into the positive side of that and checked for 12 volts, and it's got 12 volts like it's supposed to have. So we're going to run a harness from the left front speed sensor back to this harness connector, and we're going to plumb that in, and then we'll be able to spin the left front wheel and watch it on the Virus and make sure that it's working. And that way it'll tell you that this whole harness and the cab connector and the cab itself is good. Something of note, I guess, if you're not used to testing these, I said that's got 12 volts on it. You can't test that with a test light. Don't forget that. It's got 12 volts, but the amperage isn't high enough to light a test light, so you'll have to check that with a multimeter. Last second change of plans. The left front sensor connector was just a pain in the ass to get at, so I went to the right rear one here. Basically what got going on here, I go from the positive on this connector with these jumper wires, go from the positive over here to the positive on that connector, and the negative to the negative, and then you can spin the right rear and watch the signal on the left rear. Alright, I got you set up here. I'll go around and spin the right rear wheel, and you should see a signal on the left rear side. Okay, we got our signal, so we're going to order a new wheel speed sensor for this thing. This basically just checks your complete harness and your brake module, connectors, all of that stuff at once. Just basically you're substituting a known good sensor. Something I failed to mention, bypassing that way you could still have a problem in the left rear tone wheel in there. I was going to pull this off and check it out. There's a little rubber O-ring here that holds it on, but even with that off, I was fighting that thing too much, so I'll save that fight for another day when she needs brakes. But you can look back here into that hole with a mirror and then spin it around, and you can see that there's no damage inside that thing. Guess I can't really get you a view. Well, there's a little bit of it. Go along and look at that. So if that's got a big crack in it, your speed sensor won't read anyways. Here we got the speed sensor replaced. Got hooked in here with the Virus, and we're gonna take it for a test drive now and see. Got a signal coming out of this wheel. There we go. got a signal immediately. Check that out though. Brake light and ABS light flashing. I don't know if that's because I'm in the system or what. Weird. Yeah, as soon as I exited out of the ABS section of my Virus, then all of those lights stopped doing that. Not sure why that's the case. Kind of stupid, but sometimes shit happens, right? There we have another successful repair. Hope this video helps somebody out. If you like what you see, hit like and subscribe, and you'll probably see what I'm up to next. Thanks.